Part 213. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2121. Chapter 2121. Jiao Chen actually knew her secret. As soon as Father Jiao finished speaking, he saw Lin Huijin's face turn pale. Looking at her reaction, Father Jiao's heart had already turned cold. Master, you want to do a paternity test? Lin Huijin seemed to have been greatly wronged. Her eyes suddenly turned red and tears fell. You still don't believe me? Master, I really didn't do it. I'm sorry for you. You don't believe my words, but you take the words of an outsider seriously. Seeing Lin Huijin crying so sadly, Father Jiao was shaken for a moment. But he had begun to doubt some things, and he had to find out. Especially matters related to the blood of the Jiao family. He only has a biological daughter named Jiaoan. If this matter is not investigated clearly, he will always have a knot in his heart. What really made Father Jiao determined to find out about this matter was that these words were all spoken by Jiao Chen. He wouldn't believe it if others said it. But Jiao Chen would never lie. Thinking of this, the wavering in Father Jiao's eyes quickly disappeared. He looked at Lin Huijin, whose eyes were red and swollen from crying, and his attitude had never been stronger. If you want to prove your innocence, then do a paternity test. If Chen slandered you, I will naturally give you an explanation. But if you really betray me, Father Jiao clenched his fists, I will never let you go easily. Seeing Father Jiao's attitude being so strong, Lin Huijin was really panicked at this time. She originally thought that if she cried and showed weakness, Father Jiao would no longer doubt her. Because she did this before. I didn't expect that it would be useless this time. Father Jiao still insisted on taking a paternity test. They are all that short-lived ghost Jiao Chen. Lin Huijin didn't think about why Jiao Chen knew about this. She just turned her head and looked at Jiao Chen hatefully. The secret she had hidden for so many years was now revealed by this short-lived ghost. It is impossible for Lin Huijin to do a paternity test. She didn't dare to go. Because everything Jiao Chen said is true. Jiao Angzhen is indeed not Jiao's father's daughter, but her and her lover's daughter. At that time, for material reasons, she chose her father Jiao, who was in good condition and relatively wealthy at that time. But after marrying Father Jiao, she did not completely break off the relationship with her lover. Lin Huijin liked her lover. But she is also a very realistic woman who puts interests first. Her lover was not as rich as Jiao's father, so in order to live a better life in the future, she finally chose to marry Jiao's father. On the other hand, after marriage, she still missed her lover, and her lover also missed her, so the two got involved again. Later, there was Jiao Angzhen. That happened when her father Jiao went abroad and she hung out with her lover. Later, Lin Huijin went to the hospital to check the month and found that the time was not correct, so she lied to Jiao's father that Jiao Angzhen was born prematurely. At that time, she and Father Jiao still had a good relationship and they were newly married, so she said it was a premature baby, and Father Jiao believed her. After that, Father Jiao never doubted her. Lin Huijin originally thought that this matter would just go away. Father Jiao will never discover the truth in his lifetime. How could she have imagined that Jiao Chen would know her secret? Aunt Lin, didn't you say that I slandered you? Now it's time to prove your innocence. As long as you do a paternity test, wouldn't it be clear who is lying? Jiao Chen looked at her fearlessly. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2122. Chapter 2122, Go to the hospital for a paternity test. Lin Huijin was so angry that she was shaking all over. Jiao Chen, this short-lived ghost, why is he not dead yet? If he had died, things like this wouldn't have happened today. Jiao Chen, don't slander me. Jiao Angzhen ran to Father Jiao with a pale face, took Father Jiao's hand and cried, "Dad, don't believe what they say. How could Mom betray you? They want to separate the feeling of our family. Dad, how can you doubt Mom? Mom and I are just one family with you, and we are the ones who really care for you. Would you rather believe outsiders than us?" Father Jiao looked at her with tears streaming down her face. There is really nothing about Jiao Angzhen that is similar to him. Even if she looks like Lin Huijin, she doesn't look like him at all. When Father Jiao thought that Jiao Angzhen might be the daughter of Lin Huijin and that wild man outside, his eyes became a little more alienated, and he felt a little uncomfortable with this daughter. He looked at Jiao Angzhen, with the same attitude as before. "Angzhen, go to the hospital for a paternity test." "Dad," Jiao Angzhen's eyes widened with disbelief. Father Jiao, however, said in a non-negotiable tone, "After the paternity test, everything will be clear." "No, I don't want to go," Jiao Angzhen cried and shouted, "I don't want to do a paternity test. I am your daughter, why should you do this to me and my mother just because of Jiao Chen's words? Who is your real family?" "Jiao Ruhe, you've gone too far." Lin Huijin hugged Jiao Angzhen, and the mother and daughter cried together. "How can you do this to your wife and daughter? You are insulting me, and you are insulting Angzhen. Angzhen is your biological daughter. She doesn't need any paternity test, and I won't take her there. That's not up to you, this paternity test must be done." Being a man already suspected that he was being cuckolded, it was impossible for Father Jiao not to figure this out. "If my father-in-law wants to do a paternity test, I can take you to the hospital now, or if you need a doctor from any hospital, I can also call and ask them to come to your home for a test." Mo Yesi, who had been silent all this time, looked at the mother and daughter who were holding each other's arms and crying, and said unhurriedly, "I believe Chen Chen will not lie, and such lies are untenable. If Chen Chen said it's all true, then my father-in-law must figure this out." "Dad, actually..." Jiao Mian looked at the current situation and sighed softly, "Actually, we have known about this for a long time. Because we didn't want to hurt you or make you sad, we never told you. Chen Chen didn't intend to say anything originally. It's just that Aunt Lin's words were too aggressive, so Chen Chen chose to fight back." "Jiao Mian, you are so slanderous," Jiao Angzhen said emotionally. "Do you have any evidence for saying this? Are you just spreading rumors with your mouth?" "Of course there is evidence." Jiao Mian was worried about Father Jiao at first, fearing that Father Jiao's anger would affect his health, so he kept hiding it from Father Jiao. But now, Jiao Chen has said everything, so she has nothing to worry about. Jiao Mian took out her mobile phone and searched for some messages that Jiao Chen had sent her before. There are intimate photos of Lin Huijin with other men. There are also various photos of Lin Huijin's private meetings with the man many times. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2123. Chapter 2123. Get out of here, get out of Jiao's house immediately. The most important thing is that Jiao Angzhen looks very similar to that man. "Dad, take a look at these photos." Jiao Mian handed the phone to Jiao's father. "These are all evidence. We are not 100% sure that Jiao Angzhen must be Aunt Lin and this man's daughter, but Aunt Lin, I did something sorry for you." Father Jiao took the phone from Jiao Mian's hand. After just looking at two photos, his face became extremely ugly. "When I looked down at the photos, my hands were shaking. Because he knows the man in the photo. At his wedding to Lin Huijin, he saw that man. At that time, Lin Huijin introduced him as a distant cousin of hers. At the thought of this, Father Jiao was so angry that his whole body started to tremble. When he looked at the man in the photo who looked very similar to Jiao Angzhen, he was so angry that he almost vomited blood. His daughter is not like her, like other men. This man also has so many intimate photos with his wife. The paternity test has not been done yet. But Jiao's father was already convinced that Jiao Angzhen was the child of Lin Huijin and the man in the photo. The wife he had loved for so many years betrayed him. The daughter he has loved so much for so many years is not his. Everyone seems to know about this. He was kept in the dark like a fool and raised someone else's daughter for so many years. Father Jiao was so angry that he almost had a myocardial infarction. He looked at Lin Huijin with red eyes. Lin Huijin lowered her head and glanced at the photo on her phone. Her eyes widened in shock. The next second, she raised her head with a pale face. Master, I. Bitch, Father Jiao turned blue with anger and slapped her the face. It's useless for me to trust you so much. I have given you good food and good use over the years, and I have never been stingy with money on you. You are to me. Father Jiao slapped Lin Huijin in anger, causing her to fall to the ground. Lin Huijin yelled ouch. She got up from the ground and hugged Father Jiao's legs. Master, please listen to my explanation. Those photos are not real. Those are composite photos they used to frame me. I swear, I have never done anything sorry for you. They have wronged me, they have wronged me. Get away, you bitch. Father Jiao no longer believed her words and kicked her away. Bitch, you still want to lie to me? That kick hit Lin Huijin's chest. She was so painful that all the color drained from her face. Upon seeing this, Jiao Angzhen screamed and knelt down to help her. Mom, are you okay? Lin Huijin was in so much pain that she could not speak. Jiao Angzhen helped Lin Huijin stand up tremblingly. Her face was full of tears. She raised her head and cried angrily, Dad, how could you do this to Mom? I'm not your father, and you're not my daughter. As soon as Father Jiao saw Jiao Angzhen's face, he was so angry that his chest heaved rapidly and said, Lin Huijin, before I completely lose my mind, please take your daughter, get out now. Don't let me see you mother and daughter again. Get out of Jiao's house immediately. Dad. Don't call me dad again. I'm not your dad. I'll say it again, you two, get out of here right now. Do you have to do it before you leave? Father Jiao picked up a bottle of red wine on the table and slammed it. After a crisp cracking sound, red wine spilled on the floor. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2124. Chapter 2124. I can make you die badly now. He was holding the broken wine bottle and staring at Lin Huijin and Jiao Angzhen with red eyes. Roll. Jiao Angzhen was frightened and took a step back. She looked at the furious Father Jiao, then at Jiao Mian and Jiao Chen who were standing aside, and suddenly sneered, Jiao Mian, is this what you want to see? Jiao Mian looked at her coldly, the person who caused all this is your mother. She was the one who was sorry for Dad. We just let Dad know the truth. Jiao Mian, you will die badly. Jiao Angzhen gritted her teeth and cursed, you will definitely die badly. As soon as Jiao Angzhen finished speaking, she felt as if she was being targeted by death. A chill instantly spread throughout the body. As soon as she raised her head, she met Mo Yesie's extremely cold gaze. The man's dark and cold eyes seemed to be filled with ice, and there was a layer of cold air around them. Just looking at each other, Jiao Angzhen felt as if she was frozen by the cold air in his eyes, unable to move her whole body. A deep sense of fear emerged from her heart uncontrollably. She did not dare to say another word. She felt that if she said one more word, Mo Yesie would kill her in the next second. If you dare to hurt her even a little bit, I will give you a bad death right now. Mo Yesie's voice was so cold that it seemed to come from hell. Jiao Angzhen was so frightened that her whole body became stiff and her face turned pale. Asterisk. A moment later, Jiao Angzhen and Lin Huijin left Jiao's house in despair. As soon as they left, Father Jiao fell down on the chair as if all his strength had been drained. His face was pale, his lips were trembling, and his hands were shaking violently. Obviously the mood has not calmed down yet. This incident was a serious blow to Father Jiao. For a while, he couldn't fully accept this matter. He was betrayed by the person he trusted most. Still betrayed in this way. This is something that no man would be able to accept. Because Father Jiao was not in good health, his face looked a little haggard. After such a deep blow, there was no color on his face. He looked older by at least 5 years in an instant. He slumped down on the chair with a pale face, his chest still heaving violently. "Dad, are you okay?" Jiao Mian looked at him like this and asked worriedly. She felt that Jiao Chen was still impulsive. Even if they want to tell Father Jiao that Lin Huijin has a man outside, they should not choose today's time. Furthermore, it shouldn't be such a direct way. This made Father Jiao suffer too many blows in an instant. Jiao Mian was worried that his body would not be able to bear it after such a blow. Because Father Jiao's current situation looks very bad. "When did you know about this?" Father Jiao did not answer her, but asked another question, "Where did you get those photos?" Jiao Mian was stunned for a moment, then turned her head and looked at Jiao Chen. "Dad, I found the photo." Jiao Chen did not hide anything and directly told the situation at the time. "Jiao Angzhen framed my sister and has been fabricating negative rumors about her on the internet. In order to fight back against her, I used some means checked the contents of her mobile phone. I also checked Aunt Colin by the way, and found out that she has a close relationship with the man in the photo. My sister and I wanted to tell you about this at that time, but we felt that you couldn't bear such a big blow. My sister was afraid that you would be hurt if you were too angry and sad, so I asked me not to tell you for the time being." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2125. Chapter 2125. Don't worry, we'll go to the hospital right away. We thought that when you get better, we can find a suitable time to tell this matter. But we didn't expect. Seeing Jiao's father so angry that there was no color on his face, Jiao Chen also regretted it a little. He also felt that he was impulsive. If Father Jiao gets angry and something goes wrong, he will be the culprit. But now, everything that should be said and should not be said has been said. When Father Jiao heard this, he was so angry that he trembled all over again. He did not ask Jiao Chen what method he used. He only knew that he had been betrayed by someone else, or by the person beside him. His 3 children are not his biological children. Father Jiao was tortured and injured physically and mentally under several heavy blows. His bloodless lips trembled violently, and he kept saying, "Bitch, bitch, bitch. It's me who's stupid, it's me who's stupid. This is retribution, this is all retribution. This is my retribution." Father Jiao suddenly shouted, tilted his head, and fainted. Jiao Mian was shocked. "Dad." Jiao Chen's expression also changed. Mo Yesi was the fastest to react. Before the siblings could react, he rushed over and quickly hugged Father Jiao. He looked at the panicked Jiao Mian, hugged his father and turned around and walked out. "Don't worry, we'll go to the hospital right away. My father-in-law will be fine." Asterisk. Half an hour later. The hospital closest to Jiao's home. Father Jiao was lying in the ward, his face pale, his eyes closed, and he had not yet woken up from a coma. However, the doctor has said that there is no big problem with him. He fainted just because of mental fatigue. He will recover slowly by taking good care of his body. Outside the ward, Jiao Chen had annoyance and regret on his face. "It's all my fault. I shouldn't have been so impulsive. It's my fault, otherwise Dad wouldn't have. Chen Chen, this is something no one expected. Stop blaming yourself. The doctor just said that Dad is fine. Jiao Mian reached out and gently put her hand on Jiao Chen's shoulder. I don't blame you for what happened today. If it were me, I wouldn't be able to bear it. And this matter will have to be talked about sooner or later, and it can't be kept hidden forever. It's good to be like this now, at least Dad won't continue to be deceived by Lin Huijin. Your sister is right. Mo Yesi also reached out and patted Jiao Chen's shoulder. I can't blame you. It's the same whether you tell me sooner or later. You'll get hit anyway. You don't have to be too conceited. Instead of blaming yourself here, it's better to think about what your father-in-law will do in the future. The siblings were startled for a moment. Mo Yesi looked at them and said, Lin Huijin and the others are gone, and now only my father-in-law is left in the Chiao family. I see that my father-in-law is not in good health, so he definitely needs someone to take care of him. That's what I think. I'll arrange for a few reliable people to take care of my father-in-law's daily life. What do you think? Mo Yesi didn't say anything, but Jiao Mian didn't even think of coming here for a while. She could only sigh that Mo Yesi was a very considerate man. More careful than a woman like her. These issues he considered indeed need to be resolved urgently. Lin Huijin and Chiao Angzhen left, leaving Chiao's father alone in the Chiao family. Although there are a few servants in the family, they are all not so attentive and considerate. Jiao Mian would really feel uneasy if these people were asked to take care of Chiao's father. But if it was Mo Yesi who was looking for him, she would have nothing to worry about. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2126. Chapter 2126 Husband, thank you. Because she knew that everything arranged by Mo Yesi must be more thoughtful and more reliable than her. Well, then you can arrange this matter. Jiao Mian said she had no objection. Jiao Chen also nodded and said, brother-in-law is very considerate. We have nothing to worry about with the people arranged by brother-in-law. That's it. Mo Yesi said, I have made arrangements for him in life, but in other aspects, you two siblings still need to guide him. When he wakes up, you can comfort him. This matter is right, it was really a big blow to him. Asterisk. It was already very late when I left the hospital. In the car, Jiao Mian looked out the window and was stunned for a while. It wasn't until Mo Yesi reached out and hugged her into his arms that she seemed to have come back to her senses. Are you worried? The man's voice was gentle, with a bit of a seductive hoarseness, and he gently rubbed his chin against her forehead. I was wondering if Dad would be unable to get over this blow. When Chen Chen and I comforted him, he even cried. I rarely see him cry this time, he was really heartbroken. It may be a little difficult to recover for a while. Mo Yesi analyzed it truthfully to her. It is impossible for anyone to recover quickly from this matter. The person who betrayed me is the one who I think is the closest and most trustworthy person. The man not only cuckolded him, but also made him a father. Father Chiao is also very restrained. Han did not attack Lin Huijin. Other men might not be able to control their temper. He's definitely going to have to suffer for a while. Yes, Jiao Mian sighed and said a little worriedly, I'm afraid that if he thinks about these unhappy things all day long, it will be bad for his health. If I had known better, I should have stopped Chen Chen and not let him say from. At least, I can let Dad have a happy birthday. If Chen Chen didn't say anything, your dad wouldn't have had a happy birthday, Mo Yesi said objectively. Before this, the atmosphere was already bad. Okay, don't blame yourself anymore. Mo Yesi stretched out his hand to rub her head and said softly, things have already happened, so don't think about it anymore. I don't think the situation is very bad now. This is a good thing for my father-in-law, although he will. It's better to have pain for a while than to be deceived all the time. You can't keep hiding it from him forever. He is not as fragile as you think. If you feel guilty, just go back to see him often and stay with him. May I? Chiao Mian blinked. Wouldn't you be angry if I went back often? Mo Yesi was stunned for a moment and chuckled, I have nothing to be angry about. You can go back to Chiao's house whenever you want. As long as I have time, I will come back with you. Yeah, a smile finally appeared on Chiao Mian's lips. She stretched out her arms to hug Mo Yesi, buried her head in his chest, and said softly, Mo Yesi, thank you. Call me husband. Mo Yesi pinched her chin with one hand and raised her face slightly. Husband, thank you. Chiao Mian shouted softly without being pretentious. So your gratitude is just a verbal one, huh? The man's slender white fingers gently rubbed her chin, his voice lowered, and he looked at her with a dark gaze. Chiao Mian opened her mouth, me. At least, I have to reward you with a kiss, huh? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2127. Chapter 2127. If you use this answer, it will be absolutely foolproof. When the last sultry coda fell, the man's warm thin lips also fell. Asterisk. The next day, Chiao Mian accompanied Chiao Chen to take the college entrance examination. When you are about to enter the examination room, Chiao Mian seemed even more nervous than Chiao Chen. She took Chiao Chen's hand and warned her repeatedly, Chen, you must check carefully after answering the questions, and don't miss any questions. You must also check the multiple choice questions several times, don't wrong option. There's more. Sister, I know, Chiao Chen said a little funny and helplessly, I will definitely take the exam seriously and won't make those stupid mistakes. Don't worry, I know it all. Chiao Chen has excellent grades and is very confident about the school he is going to apply for. Originally, based on his grades, he could be admitted to a key university. But the schools he was recommended to attend were not the ones he wanted to go to. Because the person he is looking for is in another university. Okay, Chiao Mian also felt that she was as nagging as an old woman. If Chiao Chen couldn't reassure her, there probably wouldn't be anyone who could reassure her. Her younger brother is the one she least has to worry about. Except for the 2 years when he was ill. Anyway, you should do your best. Chiao Mian didn't know what to say. She can now understand those parents who behave exaggeratedly on the day of their children's college entrance examination. For example, various special car escorts. For example, deliberately wearing clothes with the words must pass every exam and title on the gold list written on them. If Chiao Chen hadn't refused, she would have done it. Even though she was very sure about Chiao Chen, she would still be very nervous. Because this day is so important for every candidate. Well, sister, I'll get off the car. Wait. When Chiao Chen went to open the car door, Chiao Mian stopped him. Chen, take this. Chiao Mian took out a pen from her bag and handed it to Chiao Chen, you can use this to answer the question. Chiao Chen was stunned for a moment, then reached out and took it. What Chiao Mian gave him was a very beautiful pen with a few diamonds inlaid on the cap. This pen was blessed by a master before. If you use this pen to answer questions, it will be absolutely foolproof. Chiao Chen. Looking at Chiao Mian's serious look, he couldn't help but laugh. Chiao Chen laughed and shook his head, feeling incredible. Sister, when did you become so superstitious? Didn't you not believe in this before? Don't worry about it. Chiao Mian glared at him, you can use it if you want. I also spent a lot of money on getting blessings from the master, so don't waste it. Okay, I'll use it. Chiao Chen had a fond look in his eyes, and he responded to any request from his sister, I will use this pen to answer the questions. Okay, okay, get out of the car. Jiao Mian didn't dare to waste his time and waved to him, enter the examination room early and adjust your mentality early. Don't be too nervous, just treat it as you just take it easy on your usual mock exams. Well, sister, I'm leaving then. Go, go, after the exam, your brother-in-law and I will take you to dinner. Chiao Chen didn't hesitate any longer and quickly got out of the car. As soon as he got off the car, Chiao Mianmian's cell phone rang. Chiao Mianmian saw that it was Mo Yesi calling and immediately picked up the call. Has Chen entered the examination room? Mo Yesi asked concernedly about Chiao Chen's situation. He originally planned to send Chiao Chen to take the exam with Chiao Mian. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2128. Chapter 2128. Isn't his girlfriend too precious? However, due to something unexpected, Chiao Mian finally sent it alone. Just got in. Chiao Mian glanced out the car window and saw Chiao Chen's figure walking into the school gate and disappearing soon. How is he doing? Looks good. With his usual results, you don't have to worry too much. Then you come to me now, we can have breakfast together. You haven't had breakfast yet. Chiao Mian looked at the time on her phone and frowned. Well, I haven't eaten yet. I wanted to wait for you to come together. Okay, I'll be there right away. Should I ask Wei Zheng to come pick you up? No need. Chen school is just over 10 minutes away from your company. I can just take a taxi there myself. Okay, then please pay attention to safety on the road. Hang up the phone. Chiao Mian hailed a taxi on the side of the road. Asterisk. More than 10 minutes later, Chiao Mian arrived at the downstairs of Mo's building. She got off the taxi and just walked up the stairs of the building. When she was about to walk into the lobby, she saw a familiar slender figure walking out of the lobby. Mo Yesi. She shouted softly and walked over quickly. As soon as he walked in front of Mo Yesi, he was hooked by the man's arm and pushed into his arms. Why did you come down? Chiao Mian asked. Of course I'm coming down to pick you up to have breakfast with you. Mo Yesi carried her towards a restaurant next to the building and introduced as he walked, this is a newly opened morning tea shop. I have eaten there several times and the taste is good. Good. Chiao Mian had eaten some food in the morning and was not hungry. She was purely there to accompany Mo Yesi. The two of them walked into the store. The people in the restaurant obviously knew Mo Yesi. When he saw him, the waiter immediately greeted him respectfully, Mr. Mo, good morning. Soon, the manager of the restaurant also came out to entertain them. Mr. Mo, good morning. Will Mr. Mo still sit in the same seat as before? The manager also called out respectfully. When he saw Chiao Mian walking in with Mo Yesi's arms, the manager was stunned for a moment and couldn't help but look at Chiao Mian. Mian stayed there for a few seconds longer. Subsequently, a look of surprise appeared in his eyes. They have all heard about the fact that Mo Yesi has a girlfriend. Although they are big men, they still gossip. And there are many girls in the restaurant. Even if they don't pay attention to these things, they will always know about it from other people. After seeing Chiao Mian in person, the restaurant manager felt that it was no wonder that Mr. Mo in front of him, who was said to have never been a womanizer, was attracted to him. His girlfriend is too pretty. If he had a girlfriend who looked like a fairy. Forget it, he doesn't want to, it's impossible for him to find such a girlfriend. The manager was stunned and suddenly felt a little cold, so cold that he even got goosebumps. As soon as he raised his head, he saw Mo Yesi looking at him expressionlessly, and there seemed to be a bit of displeasure on the man's stern face. The manager was stunned again, and it took him a few seconds to react. Is it because he looked at that beauty a few more times just now? Thinking of this, the manager immediately looked back without daring to look any further. He bent down and said more respectfully, "Mr. Mo, this lady, please go this way. The ground is a bit slippery, please pay attention to your steps." Oh my God. Mo Yesi must be too precious to his girlfriend. It seems that the rumors are indeed true, he really values this girlfriend very much. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2129. Chapter 2129. How do you want me to reward you? It seems that the future wife of Mo's CEO will most likely be this Miss Jiao. Thinking of a certain customer who was still in the restaurant, the expression on the manager's face became a little complicated for a moment. I don't know what will happen if we bump into each other soon. I heard that Miss Shen has been in love with President Mo for many years, but has been rejected by him. Now, seeing the man she has loved for many years with another woman next to her, she must feel very uncomfortable. However, from a man's perspective, apart from family background and other conditions, he would probably choose the beauty in front of him. She is indeed more beautiful than the eldest daughter of the Shen family. The restaurant manager took them to the seat where Mo Yesi was sitting before and handed them the menu. After Mo Yesi took it over, he flipped through the menu and introduced it to Chiao Mian Mian. The desserts here taste good. Do you want to try them? Okay. Although Chiao Mian Mian is not hungry, she can still eat some more. Otherwise, Mo Yesi would find it boring eating alone. How about a red bean milk taro ball, and a milk steamed egg? This is their signature dessert. Last time Wei Zheng bought it and gave it to afternoon tea. The female employees all liked it. Okay. Chiao Mian Mian supported her chin with one hand, curled her eyes, and said with a smile, "It sounds delicious. Whatever you order, I will eat." After Mo Yesi confirmed the dessert she wanted to eat, she ordered a few more dishes. When the restaurant manager took the menu and turned to leave, Mo Yesi stopped him. "Wait a minute." The restaurant manager immediately stopped, turned around, and said respectfully, "Mr. Mo, do you have any other instructions? Is the dessert cold or hot?" Mo Yesi asked. "Huh." The restaurant manager was stunned for a moment and quickly replied, "The default is cold, but it can also be made hot." "Then make it hot." "Yes, Mr. Mo." "Wait until the restaurant manager leaves?" Chiao Mian Mian asked with a smile, "Why did you suddenly ask him to change it to a hot one?" "You ask me." Mo Yesi looked at her, "You can't even remember the days of each month." Chiao Mian Mian was stunned for a moment before she realized what he was talking about. She was a little surprised. "Do you remember when I come every month?" Sometimes, even she herself doesn't remember it very clearly. She didn't expect that Mo Yesi would remember her aunt's life. "Of course I remember. I still remember that you always have stomach aches, and I will make you brown sugar water when you get back." Mo Yesi has made brown sugar water several times, and now he is very experienced in making brown sugar water. The water has the right sweetness and the right temperature. Chiao Mian Mian's heart suddenly felt warm. She blinked in emotion. "Husband, you are so kind to me. I have the best husband in the world." "The best husband in the world?" "Yeah." Chiao Mian Mian nodded heavily. "So should you reward me more often?" "How do you want me to reward you?" "What do you think?" The man's voice lowered and his eyes became a little ambiguous. "Chiao Mian Mian. Can you be more serious outside?" "Where am I not serious?" "Humph, nothing serious about anything. No matter how immoral, he is still your husband." "Baby, I am only immoral to you." The adjacent table hidden by potted plants. Shenro was leaning on Chiao Mianmian's side. Because the distance was not far, She heard all the conversation between Xiao Mian and Mo Yesi. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2130. Chapter 2130. She is not willing to lose at all. She could not describe the anger inside her. She knew that Mo Yesi doted on Xiao Mian. She doesn't know exactly what kind of pampering she will do. But now, she probably understands a little bit. But she would rather not understand. Because what she learned made her angry and collapsed, and there was nothing else. Mo Yesi will still make brown sugar water for others. She has known him for more than 20 years, but she didn't know he would do this again. It's not that he can't do it. But Shenro thinks that no one can let him do that. He is Mo Yesi. How could something like cooking for a woman happen to him? Even if he likes a woman, he shouldn't do these things. He still remembered Xiao Mianmian's days every month and knew not to let her eat cold food. At this moment, Shenro felt like laughing. Because she felt it was sarcastic. She thought she knew Mo Yesi very well, and no one knew him better than she did. Because she was the only woman who stayed by his side for more than 20 years. She is the only woman who can stay by his side in the past 20 years, apart from his family. She thought she was special. But in the end, it turned out that she was a joke. What she thinks is special is just her wishful thinking. In Mo Yesi's heart, she was no different from any other woman. The so-called special treatment she received from him was probably just that she could be friends with him. Even friends are just ordinary friends. It's because she thinks that she is too important. She only understood these truths after being hit by reality. She thought that she could accept everything calmly. But hearing that Mo Yesi cared so much for Xiao Mian and gave Xiao Mian the pampering she had only dreamed of, she couldn't remain calm after all. She never understood. Why didn't Mo Yesi choose her? What's wrong with her? She is not willing to lose at all. Shenro clenched her fists and bit her lip, her body trembling uncontrollably. Miss Shen, your coffee. The waiter came over and put the coffee she ordered before on the table. The freshly brewed coffee was still steaming. Shenro took it and took a sip, then stood up. She pushed away the dining chair, turned around and walked out. As she walked around the potted plants, she immediately spotted Mo Yesi and Xiao Mian sitting next to her. Xiao Mian was holding a spoon, scooping out a spoonful of dessert and feeding it to Mo Yesi's mouth. Mo Yesi frowned slightly, but his voice was very gentle. Baby, you can eat it yourself. I don't like sweets. Take a bite, it's delicious. Xiao Mian put the spoon to his mouth again. Just take a bite. Mo Yesi looked at her with helpless eyes, but his eyes were full of doting. He ate the spoonful of dessert anyway. How is it? Xiao Mian asked him. Is it delicious? Yeah, Mo Yesi nodded. It's not bad. Then do you want to eat some more? Xiao Mian scooped another spoonful and put it to his mouth. This bowl of dessert is too much. I can't finish it by myself. Can you eat a little more? You can eat a spoonful. I take a spoonful, and each of us takes half. Baby. I've already had breakfast with you, so why don't you just have a dessert with me? Come on, open your mouth. Ah. Mo Yesi was a little bit dumbfounded. You're treating me like a 3-year-old, huh? End of this chapter.